Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to another community conversation with Carol and Steph. Tonight we have a special guest, and we also want to thank you for tuning in because we're going to have a good time and we're going to get you informed, and we're just going to celebrate womanhood, sisterhood, uplifting, and celebrate the work that each other do in the community. And tonight we have a very special guest, our very own city council person for the Fifth Ward, Miss Jerry Winfrey Carter. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you.
JWC in
Thank
the
you.
house.
Thank you, Carol and Stephanie. It's a pleasure being
Yeah.
on your show.
And
Oh,
we thank you because we know you have a day job, honey. So anytime you work your day job and then you show up for us, it's always an honor. And we just want to start off by giving you your flowers right now because we know how hard you push for the community and how hard it is to do public service work, especially here in Flint. So we want to celebrate you and thank you and honor the work you do and give you the opportunity to fill us in on some of the good things that are going on and happening for the Fifth Ward and some of the things that we look to come. So, Stephanie, is there anything you want to throw in with that while we have our lovely Miss Jerry Winfrey Carter here introducing you on the opening?
well, first of all, I'm just glad we got I love Jerry. That's my sister. Uh
Yeah.
haven't known her long, but we you know, you don't really just bond with women, but I do. JWC is the girl, and I just wanted to have her on here today. We are we are going into Black History Month, but we are also doing this podcast to uplift. So we uplifting women
Yes.
and showing the women that we have in our community in a positive light. So JWC, it's your time. We're gonna let you just talk about what you want to talk about and give, you know what? Let us know what's going on in the Fifth Ward.
Okay, I can do
Yeah.
that. We have some great things going on in the Fifth Ward. As you all know, um, the Fifth Ward has a lot of housing development projects
You do. Saginaw Street is
going
lit
on.
down there between
Oh
Fifth and
yeah.
Hamilton. That area down there is lit.
Oh yeah. And when you talk about the HUD gave us a $30 million grant back in, I want to say 2018, 2019. It was around 2018 or so, because Mayor Weaver was still in office. She actually initiated that project. And so with that, the idea of that project was to move the residents from Atherton East
Terrace.
over into the city, because what you guys don't know is that that whole all of the apartments and townhouses back there, I think, were built on swampland. And so they were having a lot of issues. So the idea was to bring them closer into the city so that they could be more accessible to bus lines, hospitals, and different things like that. So the project is the Clark Commons project, and it's a 30 million choice neighborhood initiative project. And right now we are in phase 3 of the project. They are building townhouses, duplexes. We have a new apartment building being built right now on the corner of Wood and Saginaw Street. We have an apartment building that is fully completed right on the corner of Williams and Saginaw Street. There's a mixture of townhouses, duplexes, and of course, two apartment buildings. And it's multi-level. I think they are taking applications, although there's a waiting list, and
Mhm.
people have been moving in. Phase 2 is completed. All of the duplexes and townhouses in phase 2, I think, are completely full. So people are on the waiting list for phase 3, and I think it's a good thing. You know, residents, we're getting more residents into the Fifth Ward. We have another project, housing project. Now, you guys know that we have affordable housing. We're in an affordable housing crisis,
Mhm.
and the impact on Flint is really you know, it has really impacted us because, you know, we have a very large homeless population. We have veterans that do not have housing. And so, and with all of the demolition going on, we have to build in order to house people, and we need affordable housing. So, so we have the Grand on University. Is that the Grand? Which one is that?
Yeah, the
That
Grand on
is
University.
Is there a picture up? Because mom not seeing that.
yeah. There's a picture. That's the condominium development on Fifth Avenue.
The Grand is like a
The Grand is right there on the corner of
it's an
University.
apartment building. It's like gray and I sent a there was a picture in there, producer Jay. It's like a gray and a black building, I believe, or like a granite color looking building, and um
Okay, I'm looking for it. Give me 1 second.
well, go on ahead and finish talking, Jerry.
Well,
He working on it. He working.
yeah, we have the Grand on University. That project, right there on the corner of Grand Traverse and University Avenue. That project was initiated by Communities First, and it's a $16.7 million dollar development. Um, it's a mixed use building. It has I believe it's 43 um affordable units. And then they have 5 market rate units. And then on the bottom level is commercial space. I don't know what they plan to do with the commercial space right there. It's been some talk about some different things that would probably be a good fit for right there in that area. Um, and again, like I said, it's 3 levels. They have the affordable, subsidized, and market rate. 5 market rate apartments. I think it's
Okay.
good, you know, in a good area. Whereas if you're here doing your residency, nursing students, whoever, because they can just walk right down the street to Hurley, and you're right there at work,
Right.
you know, and it's right there on a bus line, um, and it's a good, you know, place right there in the neighborhood. right there in
Well,
Carriage
what it
Town. It's in the Carriage
what it
Town.
puts you in the mind of, what it kind of puts you in the mind of, is what it looks like or appears to me that the setup is going to be like a Manhattan style, one of these
Mm-hmm.
moving and shaking city.
Right.
Carol, looks like Carol froze up, but it does look like more of a modern feel, like for that you see in some of the more integrated areas. Like if you go to like the new center area down in Detroit and stuff, this reminds me a lot of that area too, with
Yeah.
how some
Yeah.
of the houses
And
look
there, and
or the apartments look.
you notice they're building the apartment buildings closer to the
To the
sidewalk.
street. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Closer to the
Now
sidewalk,
what's
the
scary?
street.
Now, what's scary about that is, around here they'll run into a house, a building. So that's concerning for me, the way they be driving around here. However,
Right.
it's reminded me, like I was saying, of the new suburban style city living, where people don't need cars because you're on the bus
Mm-hmm.
line and you got your
Mhm.
grocery store, you got the university, the
Mm-hmm.
hospital, the theater, and so I see Flint evolving into that. So
I
it's
do
kind of
too. I do
exciting, and
too. Yeah, I
they're
do
bringing
too.
industry here. I see that.
Yeah, and it's a really,
Yeah,
really nice building. I mean, all of the apartments have the balconies, which is really nice. Um, in a
right,
nice neighborhood. It's right there in the Carriage Town neighborhood. And just
right.
assess, it's accessible to the bus line, hospital. They can walk
Yeah,
right downtown to get food. Um, and I'm just so
all of that,
excited about.
and also
Yes.
walk to what's our theater over there. You can also walk to that. The little
Yeah,
wine
The
that
Capitol Theater.
Mhm.
I mean,
And
yeah,
it's
catering is
on
not
Capitol
far away. They still have good access for catering too, for
catering.
professors and
Oh,
things.
Whitey,
U of M,
the
Black
Whitey.
College.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so 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 with, and I know I hear a lot of people talking about we need some houses, we need home ownership. Well, yes, we do, but everybody can't get into a home, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah,
And some people don't. You
some
have
people
a
don't
group
want
of
to.
people, they don't want a home. They don't want
Yeah,
the
some people
home.
don't
They
want a
don't
home.
like it. Yeah, they don't want the
because
responsibility.
it's a lot of upkeep.
It's a
Yeah,
It's a
lot
lot
of
of upkeep. A new
responsibility.
roof is expensive. I'm looking into basement waterproofing right now, astronomical, water filtration systems. You think about all that, and
yeah, it's
just don't want the
expensive.
responsibility. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's way easier to pay the money on the
Mhm.
rent and let somebody else worry about all that.
Hmm.
And the thing is, this is new stuff, right? This
Hmm.
isn't something that somebody's going to be cheaping on and taking the cheap way out. This is going to be a part of the culture of downtown. So it should stay nice and classy. And let's be honest, in a city that struggles with police presence, we do have police presence in that area and in the
Oh
downtown
yes,
area.
yes,
So that's
yes.
always good. That's
They
always good. You gotta
they
come
have
in when you
very
get.
little problems in that area. And the thing about it, with more people moving in, you have more eyes to watch.
Mhm.
You have more eyes
Right,
to be on
right,
the outlook
right,
of things that's happening.
Well, you
And
have a
I'm pretty
different
glad
right.
you're
I
getting a
am.
different demographic down there too. You getting the people that's out walking their dogs and going to hang out at the coffee shop down the street. And there's
Right,
a donut.
right.
There's a don. They You got a new donut shop over there in your area too. You got a lot going on over there in that Fifth Ward.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. You have Mott College's culinary school
Oh
there,
yeah.
and they sell. You can go
Uh-huh.
in. They
Yeah, the
sell,
car.
coffees, different specialty coffees, and oh, their Caesar salad is off the chain.
And I think I
pastries,
got
donuts,
a
you
chicken
know.
quesadilla or something from there that was delicious. I got a chicken
Yeah.
You
something
know
from there,
what? I've
and
never
it was
been in there. I'm
good.
gonna have to go in there because I haven't been in there.
Oh yeah, you gotta
It was,
I think the
go in
time I
there
tried
one
to
day
go in there, they weren't open.
for lunch.
Yeah.
You know, we have
and we got
um
and we gotta wait. We gotta give shouts out to our community pillars, okay? Like Soggy Bottom. You got the Soggy Bottom down.
Yeah, you got the
oh
soggy
You
yeah, I
know,
bottom
got
down there.
Soggy Bottom. You know, I
that's
was really sad when Rodney decided to, close the loft, but
We got
we
Dink.
got new tenants.
Yeah.
Um, we will
right.
have Dink Salsa. He's gonna have a sports
Sports bar.
bar there in that
Okay,
space.
go ahead on,
I mean,
Brother
it's
G.
so much going on in the Fifth Ward. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
Okay, that
You got Drinks of Essence down there. Shout out to
yes,
Drinks of
yep.
Essence. That's
Drinks of
bartending
Essence.
school. And then
What
if you wanna have a
Sweetwater?
party, yes,
Sweetwater
Sweetwater,
is down there. Have
Blackstone.
you
now
We
guys?
got
that's what
Blackstone.
You got to go into
I have to
Sweetwater.
check out.
Yeah,
Right, I
it's
gotta
really
check that out.
nice.
I haven't
So
had
it's
the
some things
opportunity.
happening in the Fifth Ward, but the majority of the development in the Fifth Ward is the housing developments. You know, because
Right,
we gotta have affordable living. If we're planning to
right,
um, bring people into our city to work. We always talk about economic development, right? Well,
right.
the people gotta
Absolutely.
have places to stay. Gotta have
They
places to
do.
stay. So with
We gotta
that,
have a place to go.
Communities First renovated um, the Georgia Manor. That's right there
Okay.
within Carriage Town. It's an apartment building
Right.
that had been sitting there for 20 years empty. So Communities First renovated that building. And so now they have, I don't know how many apartments, but they're really, really nice. Um, and it's mixed income.
Mhm.
So you have your
Okay.
subsidized, your affordable, and your market rate. Okay. And
Okay.
then we have another project, Carriage Town, in Carriage Town on Second Avenue, whereas they have 4 condo units. They're already filled, but they built 4
Okay.
condo units. They're like duplexes, two condo units per duplex,
Okay.
And
So
then
you got two
two,
buildings. So you got two buildings with two units in each.
right, right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
2 single family homes. And
Okay.
yeah, it's really nice. So
So
Second
it's
Avenue.
funny because really, like your ward, the fifth ward and the sixth ward are about the only two that's really has some new construction going on right now, aren't they?
Yes. And you know why? You know, one of the things, like I said, in order to get money from the state, money from HUD, it has to be accessible. You have to be close to bus lines,
Mhm.
close to
You have some criteria you
hospitals,
have to meet.
schools. There's a
Mhm.
criteria that you have to meet. So that's why the projects are in the fifth and the sixth ward, because if you look at the fifth and the sixth ward,
Yep. Hospitals are right there.
right,
Bus lines
and
are right
and
there.
and we have the vacant space to make that
Mhm.
happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be
And
some
now,
more projects coming into the fifth ward because, okay, like they finished the project on Second Avenue, and now they're Genesee County Land Bank is working on that project right there on Fifth Avenue. right there in between Garland and
Oh
Mason.
yeah, right down the street from like the old mental
Right,
health building and stuff down there.
right. It's going to be a
Yeah.
16 unit multifamily condo
And those
development.
those are they're moving fast on those. Those
Yes.
people will probably be living in those by this
Oh
summer.
yeah. It's going to be open. It's expected to be completed by July 1st.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I said. They're gonna be
Okay.
living in them by summer.
Mhm. Mhm.
Speaking of the
Yeah.
land bank, we- I can't talk about the land bank without thinking about our very own Miss Renetta Speed. So we
Yes.
lost her
Yeah.
this past
Oh yeah.
election cycle.
Yeah.
So it's so hard because we're losing so many of our
We
soldiers in the
are.
community.
We really are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even
Yes. Yes.
Lolanda, attorney
Yeah,
Lolanda.
Yolanda Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
let me tell you guys, when I would see Renetta Speed or attorney Lolanda, oh my good, I used to love seeing those ladies because to
yes.
me they were
Yes.
just so jazzy and
Mhm.
Spunky.
always you would
And they
always
meant
see them.
business.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They meant business and they knew how to conduct business. So yes, we would
Yes they
definitely miss them.
did.
So can't hardly talk about the land bank or hear about the land bank
Right,
without thinking about Miss Renee.
Mhm.
So
right.
I just wanted to,
Yeah.
and to all
So
our
yeah.
viewers and people that are chiming in, you got some people in the comments that are saying hi to you, Councilwoman
Hello,
Winfrey Carter.
all. I
Let's see
love you
what we got here,
all.
Councilwoman. So is the snowman said is
Like,
La Familia restaurant closing.
No, no. La Familia is still there, up and running, and they will probably get
okay,
more and more business.
Okay, let's
Yep.
see
okay,
here. Let's go
right.
back. We got Lady Brick. Hey, Lady Brick. Shout out to Lady Brick.
Hey,
I
Lady
ain't been down to a
Brick,
council meeting in a minute. How you doing, Lady Brick?
aka Lady Brick.
Yes. Jessica Stewart. Hey, Jessica. That's my intellectual
Wow.
assassin. How you doing? Hey, y'all. I'm
Man.
in a meeting right now and we'll be in and out, but I'm here. Hey, Carol, Stephanie, and JWC. Hey, Jessica.
Hello.
Come and hang out with us when you get a chance. Hi, Tasha Lynn.
Yes.
Uh, uh-oh.
All the
Gutter
way
Black.
from
Uh-oh. Gutter
Dallas.
Black in the house.
Hello.
Gutter Black. Good evening.
Yvonne,
Thanks from the
hey.
Big D.
Hello.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
Sheena B. Hey, girl.
Sarah, hello. The one
Alien
and only
superstar
Jerry
Jaguar. Whoop,
JWC
I don't know
said,
what that's
Sarah.
about, but
Hello.
anyway.
Hello, all.
Hey, Patrick G.
Hey,
Tara,
and BB
Is
hello.
that
Lane,
my is
hey.
that
Hello,
my baby
everyone.
Patrick Jean? Is that my
Yeah,
nephew? Is that
that's
nephew?
nephew. That's nephew.
And hey, Shirley. Yep.
Tanya
So,
There's
yeah,
Burns in
so,
the
nephew.
house. Hey, Tanya Burns. Miss J.
so
Miss J. You be careful out there. I heard that wind blowing hard out there where you at. You be careful.
it is,
I think
girl.
she's in
Almost about to blow
Pittsburgh
the swoop.
or Philly or somewhere
It's
like that. I
been,
think she in PA. So you be careful. Hey,
hey,
Janelle
Auntie.
McFadden. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, from
Hello,
California.
hello.
Hey, Janelle. So
Billy,
listen,
hey.
we done did some shout outs. Thanks, Patrick G, for the love offering. Hey, Miss Campbell, I do think us black people, think as black people, we need to understand the benefits of generational wealth. You are absolutely right,
Yes,
Missy Lang. Um,
yes.
and you know what? I would say this. I have a I have a family member that has a home in Jerry's ward. Carol knows who I'm talking about because I call her. She was my aunt Dorothy. I call her Aunt D Dot, and
I do that.
and she her home is still there, and she's in a program. I mean, well, Aunt Dorothy passed away, but my cousins still had a house. They're in some program over there because I see they had a house roped off and they're getting all of the lead out. So they got some stuff going on over there
Okay,
around the
good.
city, but in the Fifth Ward. So
Mm-hmm.
um I don't know exactly what program they are, but they're helping them get the lead out and get the pipes and stuff done redone and stuff. So um they're not
Yes,
tearing, they're starting
there's
to.
a lot of programs, state programs and all.
Mhm.
And so I would say to the residents to be looking out for these programs. They have a lot of
Yeah.
programs out here. Um,
And, and and it takes for your legislator, your counselor, people like that to share this information, and also to make sure not the council person but our administration to go after the dollars and make sure those dollars are leveraged so that they can be allocated to our community. So Councilwoman Carter, is there any other great news you want to share with us? Did you get it all in, because you got a lot going on? did
oh,
you did you
there's a lot going on. And I'm looking to have more housing development projects going
Okay.
on in the Fifth Ward.
Okay.
Is Smith
I
Village
believe,
done? Are they doing it? Are they going to add anything on to Smith Village or anything, or is that done?
well, they're doing phase 3, and I think there's a phase 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's
Okay.
going to be a phase 4. But I'm not sure because, part of the grant was supposed to go into the Ninth Ward as well.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
think the phase 4 will actually happen in the Ninth Ward of the
Okay.
Okay.
project. And I'm not
All
I'm
right,
not
let's spread
sure
it out.
because, pardon me,
I said, all
I
right
didn't hear
then,
you,
let's
Carol.
spread it out. No, I
Yeah,
was saying, okay then, great. They're spreading it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, um, in the beginning, it was Fifth Ward and Ninth Ward. Part of the housing development was going to be Fifth Ward and in Ninth Ward. So I think they have one more phase, but I'm not sure. I can't find that out so that we can be certain about that. Um, and I know, when you when you look at the Fifth Ward too, we talked about all of the good things, but the
Mhm.
Fifth Ward too has a lot of abandoned houses. And I'm
Mhm.
happy to say that they have started the demolition in the Fifth Ward. And when I say the Fifth Ward, I'm talking about on the old map, Fifth Ward.
Okay. All right.
Whereas at the time, when we gave the $16 million of the $16 million opera fund to land bank to do demos.
Okay.
So we had this
Okay.
list that that we were all of the council members were looking at, and these were the houses, the abandoned houses that are on the list to be
That could
demoed.
be
So
done out.
they've stared working in the Fifth Ward. So I'm
Oh,
happy to
that's
say that.
wonderful. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
That's wonderful. Because
Now,
the blight is an issue, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because the blight
mhm,
is an issue all around the city, actually. It's
it
not, I don't
is.
think it's just restricted to any one area. So, and then what was so it's nice to see new development coming, and old structures that are um invitations for crime and things of that nature, you know
Mhm,
uh and it's depressing to look at those things on a daily basis, and you're working hard trying to have something. So the fact that you've invested in getting those abandoned structures torn down is wonderful,
mhm.
because the Clarissa Shields movie, it was amazing. I think it was, um, but I think it was a true depiction of the real Flint, and it was a mess. Some of it
Yeah,
didn't look
yeah,
like it, but for the
yeah.
most part, the depiction of how things really are in some areas, I mean, I
Mhm.
think it was spot on. So the fact that those issues are being addressed, I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
ecstatic
and
about it.
it's challenging, the blight and and you see most of your blight around the abandoned houses and stuff. And most of the abandoned houses are land bank
Mm-hmm.
properties.
Yeah. Yeah,
However,
land bank duty.
we do have some privately owned properties. I know somebody posted a picture of that property right there on the corner of ML King and Fifth Avenue, right there by
Mm-hmm.
the Muslim house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a privately owned property. There is nothing I can do about a privately owned property. It's not
right.
And
even a
they
land bank
you
property.
you can't even really can you even ticket it or anything because they didn't pay it. They didn't paint it.
Well, and if there's blight around the property of True, I can call the blight department and have them to go over. I can call our neighborhood safety officer,
But they're gonna
have them
keep
to go
just doing
over
it. They're
and
just gonna
issue a
keep dumping.
ticket. But let me tell you what people are doing. They'll pay the ticket, or they'll have the money put on their tax roll.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not. It's really not really,
Yeah,
uh, the process is not helping. I'll just say
right.
that.
And I believe that. I believe that. Well, and also, um, somebody put in the chat that the land bank has held properties hostage until they become blighted. And
Right,
this is
right.
we've seen that, and I think that played a major part in how
It
Flint
did.
became destitute.
Yeah,
And
it
I think
Mm-hmm.
it
did.
was all, and then don't get me started on the whole setup on our community. But this is what I also want to talk to you about now. And if you don't want to talk about this, then that's fine. I respect your position. But tomorrow, you guys have a big day. City Council got subpoenaed concerning the Hasselbring thing. You're supposed to show up to court tomorrow. What's your take on that?
Um, well, look, I got several opinions. First of all, leave
Yes,
Hasselbring alone. Okay? Leave
yes,
Hasselbring alone.
Absolutely.
it's a shame.
Stop
So
getting
I'm going
into
to
your
read this.
feelings. Stop getting into your feelings because you upset because Rivet was running against you and nobody wanted to support you. So you all
Right.
upset.
So, and ultimately, this has landed the whole city council in court on tomorrow. So, I'm going to read the information because if you're watching, if you're in our community, if you care about our seniors, if you care about the federal dollars making it to the community and
And I
doing good works in our
but wait
area,
a minute,
please show
girl.
up.
I think let me see. I think since that, I think we received an email saying
Oh, have
that we do not have to report, but I'm gonna still be there.
Just in case.
because who sent you that email? Who said that?
Um, so she's yeah. So we do not have to.
Court's been canceled.
No, the court is still going on, but we do not. We're not no longer subpoenaed. Okay.
Who said that? Who said that?
It came from Girly. It came from
Isn't that the
Oh
city
yeah, you
attorney?
shouldn't
yeah,
go anyway because
Wait,
she
wait,
I don't
wait,
trust
Steph,
yeah.
her.
let
Um,
me ask some questions here. Isn't that the city attorney?
Mm-hmm.
This is the
yeah.
city attorney that said that. So now is that who issued you the subpoena initially?
So she did say she filed the motion, but I'm gonna still, and I'm sure Tanya will still be there. We're still gonna show up just
Because
in
my thought,
case. Because you
yeah,
know
my
what?
thought,
I'm
they play a
I'm
little
like
game.
this. I'm like this. You can call, you can send an email, whatever. But see, I know a trick when I see a trick. Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad
Because
you
yeah.
said it and I didn't have to.
Well, I'm
Okay.
just saying, 'cause I'm not going to bring the councilwoman on here and let her take the heat for it because that was my next question. Because this is my thing. If the court issues you a subpoena, then I don't know how the city attorney can
Right.
tell you not to show up to court.
I'm gonna
Sounds
be
like they're
there.
trying to sound like they're trying to
Mm-mm. Don't
set you
fall
up.
for that banana in the in the tailpipe.
Right.
Don't do
I'm
it.
gonna
You
be
ain't
there.
so it sounds
Yeah.
like the ultimate setup to me. It sounds like they need a lifeline, so they doing their last heave ho in a last
So
minute
let me
effort.
see. Good afternoon,
Hmm.
city council members. I filed a motion today
And just because she
and
filed the motion,
five to
did the
squash the
judge grant it?
subpoenas
Wait a minute.
and
Say what?
excuse your appearance, respectively, tomorrow related to the Hasselbring case. Um,
Yeah, now Stephanie, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Did the
and
judge
I,
grant
you
it?
know what? I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't trust Attorney Girly.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
trust her.
this is my thing, and I'm no expert in a court of law, but I do have this much common sense to know that if the court system, if the judicial system has sent you a subpoena, some old little side jigabug attorney can't
Right,
tell you not to come the day before. You ain't got no court document, nothing. I don't
right,
want to hear flying
right.
flirt. So anyway,
And
let me
I'm not
read this.
going by that. I will still be there. We did get
Not
a
right. If I
call.
don't,
We did
that's
get a
right.
call. She just filed the motion. That doesn't mean
It don't
that,
mean
That
it
it's
was granted.
accepted.
yeah,
Right. Right.
And
So
girl,
let me
best
read.
believe he'll get on there and do a news
girl,
conference
be
and say y'all
quiet.
didn't show
None of this, all that.
up.
This is why nothing in the city is getting done. They won't show up to do the work. And then
Right.
Uh-huh.
the mother four will be there though. They trying to get y'all all shift sham. But let me read this to
And
the
I'm gonna
community.
tell you, I just
Tanya
Okay,
said
yeah,
Tanya.
Liddell
And
and
Tanya
yeah.
Leon were
Burns
at City
said,
Hall until
And I'm gonna
4
tell you,
p.m.
I just don't trust Attorney Girly. I don't. And I'm just gonna put it out there.
Kawana, you are
okay,
absolutely
and
right.
Kawana
Kawana
said,
said anybody willing to
it,
work for this corrupt administration is suspects. You are absolutely
You're
right.
right. And that's why I will be there.
Good
okay.
evening,
I'll be
Tanya
there.
Burns.
So let me,
Good everyone, please.
and a matter of
ev-
fact, do we have their cash app up, producer Jay? I'm gonna read this flyer um to the listeners, the viewers, anybody that may have some free time tomorrow that would like to support the community, that would like to support the least of thee, would like to support our seniors, okay? All of our seniors, because this serves all of the seniors of Genesee County.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Carol, this
Councilwoman Burns. I moved my schedule around too, and I will be there. See, I know your
okay,
tricks.
everybody. Carol
Yeah,
is here
yeah,
she comes.
I gotta get a better internet. I got to get a better internet service. This ain't gonna be able to keep working. Anyway, I finally got the computer going, not the internet tripping. City of Flint versus Hasselbring Senior Citizens Court date Thursday, January 30th, 2025, 1 o'clock p.m. Judge Jessica Heyman, 67th District Court, 4094 Manor Drive, Burton, Michigan, 48519. If you have to GPS that, please do whatever it takes. Let's show our seniors that we're behind them and that we're supporting them, because it is no fighting uh government, no fighting capitalism, no fighting any of that if we don't show up in unity, sticking together, standing on one accord, saying
Right.
this is not acceptable. You cannot treat our seniors this way. Please come out supporting them. And y'all know I'll be at that day job, but I
And
will
let
be
me
there
tell you,
tomorrow.
and let me tell y'all, I'm just gonna say this, and I said it on the record. I don't appreciate Neely and his administration using the late Councilman Eric Mays' name,
Mm, mm,
But for
mm.
that
okay?
funky two step he was
Using
trying to
his
pull.
name for within the name of that building. Okay?
Absolutely.
Mays couldn't
especially
stand Neely, and Neely didn't like Mays.
especially when they did him so dirty in his death.
Right, right. And
That's the gut punch.
I'm not saying that Mays' name shouldn't be on anything else in the first ward, because it should.
But not used in this manner because he fought hard to open Hasselbring for the
Yes,
seniors.
he did.
How dare you destroy his work and then slap his name on the destruction? That is a slap in the face.
It's a
And
slap in
by
the
the
face.
way, it is. And by the way, if you can support our seniors because they're paying for their legal services out of their pocket, it is no standing up for democracy without judicial representation. So please give to their cash app. It is $ HASSELBRINGS capital S capital CNTR. Please support our seniors. If it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $10, every little bit helps. There is no standing up to these bullies without a
Mhm.
judicial mouthpiece. Period. It just doesn't work, and that's just really what the holdup in Justice for Flint is based upon. We don't have one council that is willing to stand up and go against the grain, because when you stand up for the people, you go against the establishment. And also, when you do want to stand up, you have to have financial backing. You cannot go to war if you do not have money to buy
Them
supplies,
bullets.
representation. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So we just wanted to say that. And we also want to let our
Yes.
seniors over at Hasselbring know we're behind them.
And see,
Yeah.
that's what he's doing. See, he's playing on the emotions of the seniors because he know they loved Councilman Mays. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
He
Yes.
know they loved Councilman Mays.
Absolutely.
And he loved
And
them. That's just the truth
Yeah.
of
right,
the
He
matter.
right,
He
loved the
loved
people of
them.
the first
right.
ward.
So if he
Yes.
puts Councilman Mays' name on Hasselbring, he's thinking that
It's
that's going to
okay to
bring the
dog them.
seniors into the building. That's going to
Uh-huh.
buy that, they'll buy into the city taking over
The
the
nonsense.
Hasselbring Center.
And they'll buy into the nonsense. And let's not
Yeah,
forget also, Hasselbrook sits on a large parcel of land, and it is also
yeah.
one of the top voting polls in the city. So it would be nice to control a voting poll, a large parcel of land, senior citizen and community hubs and things of that nature,
Hmm.
because then you can kind of control the vote. You can kind of control the community because they haven't been able to control the north side of Flint. And so getting Mr. Mays out the way, in my opinion, is a grand opportunity for them to divide us up and devour us. And I think
Hmm.
that's what we're seeing now with this attack on Hasselbrink. I think, and then this is another, and I hate to, I'm not going to be talking about people, but I'm going to say this. Somebody had the nerves to tell me that your fellow councilwoman uh, of the second ward, I'm not going to even say her name, voted against the food
Girl,
grant. And then they say she be up there at
To
St.
be going
Mark,
through the
up there at
line.
Pasadena and DuPont, up there in the food line
McClellan and
getting the
DuPont.
food.
McClellan.
McClellan and DuPont. If you spot any of our council people in the food line up there at McClellan
That didn't
and
vote for
DuPont,
that didn't vote
no,
for it.
take that picture. No, we ain't gonna even say their name. Take that picture, and we'll let you know then if they worthy of exposing. Cause how you gonna vote against something and then benefit from it? Clarence Thomas, little sister. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, back on track. Back on track. Cause we
girl.
said we wasn't going left today.
And that's in
We
her
said we wasn't
ward.
going left today.
Look, that's in her
I
ward. That's in her
yeah.
Listen,
ward.
Well, we
it's
got.
a lot of stuff that
Well,
happened in
look.
that y'all last meeting that was very disappointing. That's all I'm gonna say. That was very
Every
disappointing.
meeting is disappointing. There ain't no
Oh,
meeting just
yeah,
actually
every meeting
every
is disappointing. But
Yeah,
that
that's
right
true.
there,
so and
That was diabolical.
You said
That
what?
was diabolical. That was diabolical. For them to sit up there and say no like that, and they had
And
attitude when they were
but
saying no.
look, did you see how Candace got up and left, and then Judy got up so that they wouldn't have to vote?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And was hiding. They was
But
hiding in the
then they're
back.
so but then they're so quick to point the finger and call everybody else out. And another thing I wanted to bring up while we had you here, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. I heard, and you, as you very well know, I was a former member of the Ethics and Accountability Board. I heard Mr. Joe King had the
girl,
audacity
don't get me
to
started on
roll
Miss
up
No,
in
we gonna
City
say the
Council.
unmitigated gall.
Wait, let me finish now, y'all. So let me finish. Now let me finish. I heard the chair of the Ethics and Accountability Board, Mr. Joe King, had the gumption, the audacity, the wind in his body to come in the city council meeting and tell you guys he was going to take you guys to court for not filling that third ward city council seat when they fired the on buzz person, rehired her, does not have an on buzz person. He
right,
takes everything. Michelle Young does not share any information with the board. A couple board members, two of them now are talking. See, folks get to talking when they, but anyway, two, and he don't share nothing with them. Just him and Miss Young, to my understanding, allegedly, is just really running the board. Okay, and I
mm-hmm.
also want to point out, from my own knowledge, nothing to do with Miss Winfrey Carter. I'm going to say this from my own knowledge. Mr. King and Mr. King and Trishelle Young's father are good friends, and Mr. King and the administrator Ed Taylor is good friends. Who works for the administration are good
Mm-hmm.
friends, and Mr. King also has a construction company, and Mr. Taylor needs his buildings tore down, those apartment buildings that he received those ARPA funds for. So I just want to draw a picture in advance on the front end because people, yeah, she always lie. Oh, and she conspiracy theory. Okay,
No,
write
no,
it down.
it's the truth.
Write it down. I'm telling you how this train is rolling. And Trishelle is also good friends with our head administrator. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's why you don't have an unbuzz person. Because now who's gonna take the
Well,
complaints?
didn't
Who's
well didn't the
gonna
mayor marry her?
yes, he did.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So, and now I don't know how true this is because this is not my own personal information. I got this secondhand from a conversation that I was having with somebody, but they said basically everybody that was on the opera committee was a financial donor to our administration, a campaign, our head
Yeah, and
administrators
let's not
campaign.
forget the first ward now council person was seated in on the ARPA committee in the third ward.
yeah, he was on the ARPA
Yes.
committee.
And then
Yeah. And then
yes,
got
for
ARPA
the third
funds.
ward, and then and got opera funds, and then ran for city council in the first ward because you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to live in the ward, Flint. All you have to do is be on certain people's teams, and those rules don't apply to you. And that is the problem we're having here in Flint. This is why we can't get anything done because when you allow this to take place one time, then everybody has a bright idea.
Right,
And then the next
right,
thing you know, only certain things can happen in certain wards if your city council person isn't sold out. If your city council person is willing to speak up. Also, I want to bring this up, and we don't have to make it personal, but I did want to shine some light on this because you were recently getting some flack for a building that is a public building, to my understanding. Um, and they were giving you some flack about the boilers that have nothing to do with you. And I explained on our last show
what
that this is
building?
not
Is it the building on
The
the
public
20th?
housing building of the high rise on
Oh,
Saginaw and Fifth.
oh, yeah, yeah. Um, Now, there's a fine line there. Okay.
right.
I do get calls from the high rise. I get calls from Garden View about the property management. Okay. Well, The one thing I do not do, I don't step over into that. Okay?
Right. That's
If
right.
the property manager has rules and regulations and things that residents have to follow, that's them. Now, what I did do when I found out about the heat over there and the boiler and everything, the hot water and all of that, I did call the property manager and I said to her, "Hey, I'm Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. I'm just calling to find out, what's going on, and is there anything that I can do to help you?" Okay.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that's all I
That,
can do. That's
and
all
I
I
do
can
want to
do.
say this. And I do want to say this because I explained that last week that that is not the responsibility of a council
It's
person.
not.
And in fact, you have the housing commission, you have all these other entities that control public housing situations that you would need to contact, including property managers or
Right.
things of that nature and maintenance people, and they have to handle that. That is not a city council's
It's not a
person's
city
responsibility.
council responsibility. It's not.
And
Now,
like I told them, that you can get involved and try to extradite the process or assist the residents out the kindness of your heart and as
exactly.
a leader, doing the right thing and trying to help them get much needed necessity. But it is not the responsibility of a city council person to govern those type of situations.
It's not.
So I don't want to labor that too long, but I did want to make that clear to other people because people don't know, and you listen to other people that don't know, and then they're sharing it with other people that don't know. Now
Yeah.
everybody don't know. So
And I
let's
mean,
be
think
clear on
about it. Why that's not a city owned building, okay? It's a
right,
privately owned
right,
building
right,
with a
right.
private um property management company.
Okay, right.
Yes,
So you wouldn't
the
have
people that
any
stay in the building are my residents, and I
right
will
because
make
they're
a
voters
call.
in your district.
Right, I
Right.
will make a
And like
call.
what?
Yeah, if
That's
if they
right.
need my assistance on something, I will write them a letter or whatever, help them, but that's not my responsibility.
Lend them your voice. That's right, but it's not your obligation.
It's not my
Okay,
responsibility.
the plagiarism pirate is taking all the credit for the late Councilman May's 18 properties program to save residents' homes. The House of Esther was in that group of homes.
So is he
Yeah,
gonna
it's
is
it's
he
so
gonna give the
sad.
House of Esther um is
Yeah,
he gonna give them that property?
No, he ain't gonna
Because
do
the House of
nothing.
Esther was within that 18
The properties, yeah, but he
yeah,
ain't
the
gonna do.
properties.
That's the right thing to do, and that ain't what he do.
let me tell y'all
Again,
something.
again,
Black Donald Trump. Okay.
right. Again, he
Mm.
using this as a campaign ploy. Okay? He using this as a campaign ploy. Residents, I need you guys to stay woke.
I know we not that slow. I know goodness
Stay
well
woke.
we can't be that slow. We will not be that slow as a community, as
You
a city.
gotta
I know
you
we
you
yeah,
you gotta watch all of the tricks of the of this guy. Okay?
of the enemy, of the
You
people.
got to
Now I
watch
want to
the
speak on
tricks.
this. Now, I want to speak on this because you touched on this earlier when you talked about federal housing and things of that nature and economic development. As we very well know, our newly elected president fumbled and messed and follied with some public programs. Here's my issue with this gentleman. He goes in with his ink pen because he
He's not
has
a
the power
gentleman.
and he signs his name because he likes his signature and he has no idea what all these actions that he take. effects, what programs they affect. He said that it wasn't going to affect um, um, early childhood development programs, food subsidy programs, things of that nature, which we finding out that that is absolutely not true. I have a friend that works in the state of Georgia, and her job is federally funded. And because he had frozen the federally funded dollars, they didn't know if they were going to get their paychecks or not. And they couldn't pay vendors and different things of that nature who provide services in the community. So they were all up in arms because they couldn't get their checks. They couldn't make payroll. They couldn't pay people that they owed anything. So it was a big mess. But long story short, once he found out what the damage was, and I guess he got off some flack because these are federal employees. He unasked that aspect of the funds or whatever. But these situations will absolutely affect us. And I think, well, we'll see how this goes. But I'll bring that up later in this segment. But this man in this week and 2 days, because it's just Wednesday, he got his had his inauguration, Martin Luther King Day last Monday, not this past one, but Monday before that, and then 2 days after that, make it a week and 2 days. And this man is wreaking havoc on the United States of these Americas. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is outrageous how he is shutting it down because let me tell you, with these federal cuts, what this affects, in case people don't understand, I'm going to make it first perfectly clear. First of all, it totally destroys the Title One funds that go to public schooling and
Yep.
schooling, okay? Which ultimately will affect special needs children, okay? Special ed education, uh,
School
colleges,
lunch programs.
okay? Yeah, the school lunch programs, um, food stamp programs, Section 8 and low income housing programs, programs where people get paid with federal funded dollars that are given, annually, that they have to look at and decide if they're going to give the dollars to. It affects those programs. It affects Medicaid. So
Mm-hmm.
and now everybody want to fall out. You got all these people. I voted for him. You voted for him last time, and he drug you. Now he's
Right.
also separated us from the CDC. Now they're saying that it's an uprising in whooping cough. Now,
Tuberculosis too.
yeah, tuberculosis. I forgot about that. So here we go, cutting all the and it will. Oh, and those insulin prices that Kamala and Joe
Mm-hmm.
Biden just worked so hard to drop for all Americans. Those are back through the roof. So you decide if you're gonna get your insulin or if you're gonna buy groceries. We back here again, and we in a mess. We in a whole quandary. Many
Mm-hmm.
people lost their jobs already. Many people have been given severance packages. And a severance package, in case you don't know, is them maybe giving you a year's worth of salary or a year and a half or however many dollars, a lump sum. Here you
They
go and
didn't
get on
send
out of here.
everybody in the federal government, all of the federal employees, a packet telling them if they, telling them they can resign. If they don't resign, they could possibly lose their job.
So
They sent
quit or I'm
everybody
firing.
one, huh?
Quit or I'm firing you. That's what that
Right?
equals. You can quit or I can
Basically,
fire you.
you can.
But
If
you
you don't
won't keep
quit, we're gonna
working
fire
here.
you. Yep.
You won't keep working here. You've seen the last of the good days in this position. And that's really sad. But, you know, we had so
Hey,
many
I
women
mean,
that,
you know,
yeah, we, in the words, what they say, we effed around and now we finding out.
yep,
Okay? And
yep.
and let me tell you something. Before I come out in March, I'm gonna look and see if you even voted. If you didn't bother to vote, don't come calling me, want me to march for you, want me to take up no collection for you, or none of that. If you too busy to take time out to vote on that one day out the year or whatever, every 4 years, if you too busy to exercise your vote, I'm too busy to help you with your problems because I got my own troubles because you done went and didn't vote. So now we got this gentleman in here. So now I got to be working 13 and 14 jobs, 10 and 20, 37 hours a day, 9 days a week, and all this here hustling and being nice to people I don't like and all this old type of crap trying to so I can get my garden rotor tilled and look, look, at some point I'm gonna say it again. Stephanie, you know I told you what my new slogan for this year concerning how I assist in the community. I am not saving anybody that will not assist in their own rescue. I'm
Right.
not.
Right.
I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna do it. They say Trump is skeptical. JP says Trump is raising hell in DC. All the police officers. Oh, the insurrectionists. Did you see where the one insurrectionist has been gunned down in uh Indiana or Illinois?
Yeah, it was
Indiana.
Indiana. It was
Oh,
Indiana.
really? Hmm.
Yeah,
No,
he
I
even
think it
got out
might
of
be
jail. And
Illinois. I'm gonna write it down.
I thought it was
Anyway,
Indiana.
okay, well, anyway, one of these January 6th insurrectionist people got out of jail. He's been in trouble several times since he's gotten out of jail because they said he got out last July, this past July or something. But anyway, he's gotten out of jail, uh, got into a tussle or a rumble or some type of kicking up dust with a sheriff and was gunned down and killed. Now, if this man would have been serving his time, yes, he would have been jailed, but he still would have been alive due to the fact that there is no accountability. He decided that he can continuously challenge the law because him and his crew got away with throwing an insurrection at our capital of the United States of these Americas and also killing police officers and destroying government property, amongst other things, and looking for our vice president to hang him. But he got away with all that. So, this is what happens when there's no accountability. And I don't understand how we're going to hold other people accountable in this country. Okay.
Right.
Hold other people accountable for jaywalking, for tickets, for stuff like that when you're letting murderers, okay, you're letting predators hold positions in one of the highest setups in our nation to keep order and integrity. I mean, it's just all going to hell in a handbasket. Don't get me started. So, anyway, it's just concerning. We've made a bad decision again because this
Again.
ain't the first time we did this. This is number two. And I'm sorry to all the people that are immigrants that voted Republican, that's sitting up crying, talking about they wish they wouldn't have voted for him. And then now I'm hearing all this we stuff. All of a sudden, everybody's French. Now it's we. Well, if it would have been some unity, we wouldn't be in this position. So I'm not willing to we up with everybody. What's you guys' take on that?
I don't have a take on it. I'm just gonna say this. I am not. Uh, there were a lot of people that I'm looking at now, and I'm like, what do you want us to do now? I mean, I just saw an article or a news program right before we came on today that they are talking about they're conducting raids. They've conducted raids. Um, and now they're talking about sending the people to Guantanamo Bay. So they're gonna send the immigrants to Guantanamo Bay, and where they got the terrorists. They still got terrorists there. They still haven't gotten all of the terrorists out of there. So you're
So they
gonna
can all
lock those
up and
people
take
up.
over.
I so I was like you can't make this stuff up. You just cannot make it up. But you know what? It's what you and I was watching something on TV Sunday because I'm trying not to ingest. I watch the news, but I don't watch the news. Like I try to. I, I kind of do a mixture, but the last time when he was in office, I kind of had PTSD when he got out of office. So I was trying not to. I'm trying not to to ingest all of that all the time, like, to watching the CNN all the time and all of that stuff. I'm trying not to do that. But you do have to watch some so you can know what's going on. But
Right.
I was watching Meet the Press because I still will watch Meet the Press on Sunday morning, and they were saying that a lot of the initiatives are going through. He's assigning executive orders, but there are some things that he's signing executive orders for that he knows fundamentally are not going to be able to. They're not going to fly. They know somebody's going to sue. They're going to get legal. They're going to get some legal court opinions and stuff like that. And they're going to get shot down, or they're going to get hung up in the courts or whatever. But he's done what he said he was going to do by signing the executive order. So if it doesn't fly, if it doesn't go through, if it doesn't happen, he'll just say, "Well, I did what I said I was going to do. I signed the order. It was the court fault."
Yeah.
And
Sound
Yeah, that's
familiar?
true.
Sound familiar?
and day one, he came out, that project 2025, checking them
Came out.
off,
Yes.
checking them
Yep.
off, checking it
He
off.
checking them
They
off.
finally, yes, yes. Now you know what? This is what I want to ask you about too, Miss Jerry Winfrey Carter, while we got you. So what is your take on them, on Mr. Joe King wanting to take you guys to court, but not having a buzz person of his own?
Well, first of all, it was a waste of time, and it was a waste of taxpayers' money. Okay? He didn't have to take us to court.
Oh,
But
Lord.
still, but
Just like he didn't have to get up there trying to read the other day
right,
either.
insulting my intelligence,
Yeah, because
reading
that
me
was
a
bad.
letter
Yeah,
with
that was
his
bad.
raspy voice. Girl, I got so angry. I'm sitting there
Is
and I'm
that
getting
is that all you
angry.
got out of that was the
What is
raspy
he
voice?
doing? What is he reading at? We got the letter right here.
Yeah, he was. That was pretty
He
Reading
bad.
wants
is
y'all to know.
fundamental.
Mr. King say he finna show up. He showing up and he got something to say. And
Girl,
it
he
might
was
take
letting
him
y'all know
45
about the
Mr.
minutes to
King
he
should
say
was
have
it.
letting y'all
showed
know
up.
about the chowder. He was letting y'all know
Mr.
about the
King
chowder.
should have showed up when they suspended Mays for 90 days. He should have
Man, he
showed
It's a
up
wouldn't
lot
then.
of times he should have
Mr.
showed up
King
and he
should have
didn't.
showed up when we had that insurrection in the city council chamber. He should have showed up
he ain't
then.
see that. He ain't see that. He ain't know nothing
He should have
about that.
showed up when they put Tanya out for 30 days.
Right. He should have showed up.
Rochelle
He
didn't
should
tell
have
him to
showed up
show up,
that day.
so
He should have showed up that day when Liddell was standing over Dennis. Talking
He
about
should have
what you
showed
gonna
up.
do? What you gonna do?
look, Mr. King is a very
They
busy
got
man. If
they
Trishelle,
got all them cases on the table that they haven't even touched. Okay?
wait, let me say this. When I was on there, they refused, the whole Ethics and Accountability Board refused to look at the video evidence to a complaint. They wouldn't even look at it. I couldn't believe it. Sure would not. So no, they not looking at no. And if they do look at some, complaints, if it ain't them doing the bidding of the administration, then they ain't gonna address it. They're just not.
That ethics and accountability board need to be reorganized.
No,
They
they
just
need to
need
go
to
to
let.
jail.
They
They do
just,
what
No,
they
just
do.
everybody, we need to have new people on the ethics
No,
and
they
accountability
know they're
board.
breaking the law. They know they're breaking the law. They need to be held accountable, flat out. They know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't even think about doing what they're supposed to be doing because they're too busy selling the city out. Okay? Mr. King, if he work on any of them city contracts, if he get any of them ARPA funds or any other funds that's tied to this administration of this city, Mr. King should go to jail. Okay?
And you know what? I'm going to be researching. I'm going to be researching that
Because I'm telling you
because
right now,
I believe, I'm just saying, like you said, Mr. King probably do have a contract. Because see,
Well,
this is all Neely. This is all Neely. Neely is in his ear. Man, you need to take them to court. Man, you need to
No, no, no,
take
no.
their
He's in Trichelle's ear, and
paychecks. You need to take
Trachelle.
their checks and put it in escrow.
now this was going on. He and Trishelle and Ed Taylor's ear, and both of them is in Joe King's ear. Cause Joe got the nerve to pretend like he don't like Nelly, but see, he loves Trishelle, her daddy, and Ed Taylor though. Okay, it's just sad how they're being allowed to wide open rob the city and do this dirty deed, and maybe one day we'll get justice. I don't know. And hopefully tomorrow when you guys get to court, and I'm so glad that you guys are still showing up.
Oh
Miss
yeah.
Carter,
Yeah.
we won't hold you
It
up.
sounds like a trick to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it do sound
it's
like a
definitely
threat.
a setup. But like I said, I've never heard when the court of law tell you to come to work and some random lawyer call you or send you an email and say, and don't work for that office, don't work. No, you ain't gotta go to court. Don't I made a motion, you ain't gotta show up.
Right.
Yeah,
I got a
it's just
court order. I got a court order that says I'm supposed to show up. And guess
don't
what?
worry
I'm
about
gonna show
that.
up.
Don't worry about that. He filed a motion. Ain't nothing
Right.
happening right now that the majority didn't vote for. Look at the first and seventh ward elections. Enough said. The first and seventh ward elections. I don't really know about that first ward election thing. Well, no, but we gonna go along with it because that's what they said. But I kind of question that. JWC,
That
aka
that what
Simone,
that
Come
go in. I know that's right. They said don't be nice about it. Slay.
Yeah. They don't want me to turn into Simone.
Yes,
uh
skeptical
oh.
JP. Yes, skeptical JP said Flint is a living RICO indictment, and
Yes,
I'm
it
just waiting
is.
for the indictment to come down. Let me tell you something. I can't wait. I can't wait because folks don't live where they supposed to
Well, they
live,
right over there in Pontiac. Look, they right over there in Pontiac.
and in Detroit. They come. You think they'll make it down 75?
I'm hoping. I'm
Let me
hoping.
tell you. These is some real thugs in politics. They ain't scared. They like, oh, this is what I want to ask y'all about. Put up the video, producer Jay, of the brawl down there in Dalton, Illinois, involving our very own boy Jedediah Brown. Okay, was down there at in Dalton, Illinois, at a town hall meeting. Producer Jay, is you still with us? At a town hall meeting, um, and he gave a statement, and Tiffany Hanyard's man took offense, and this is what happened.
Oh,
Run that TV footage.
You go, bitch.
Somebody on the ground, Lord have mercy. How you in the
They
motherfucker?
fighting, y'all.
They throwing them blood down.
Y'all said, you stay over here. Don't go that way yet. You stay over there. You stay over there.
Okay, producer Jay. So yeah, just when you thought your city council meeting was rough, okay, and now it was another angle I saw earlier today too. I must have sent her. Oh, they was throwing them bowls. It was physical, okay. And so that was Jedediah Brown. And as you very well may know, he's been to Flint speaking up for us and bringing, shedding light to some of the issues that we've been experiencing right here in our own front yard. So, Tiffany Hanger, if you're not familiar with her, they're labeling her right now as the worst mayor in America. And that's because the feds have been over there in her house. So they haven't made it our way. So we're going to reserve that title and just wait and see how this thing pans out. But she's being labeled as the worst mayor in the United States. She's one of the youngest mayors in the United States. Also, she's like, I think 32 or 33. In that brawl, she lost her wig and a shoe. Okay, so it went down like Whitney and Bobby Brown. Total chaos. But I had to share that because it ain't just us, and I ain't gloating in nobody else's chaos. But it make you feel good to know that you're not the only one faced with these problems. Okay, to approach Doug. And yes, he was the only one to approach Doug and was finna tear. Doug was shaking like a prostitute on the front row on Easter Sunday. Okay, and the pastor calling folks
Oh
out reading
yeah.
their mail. He
Oh,
was nervous.
Doug was nervous. He was scared.
Yeah, Doug thought he could drop that N word. Doug like the guy two lumps on his head. Doug wasn't running that mouth then. Let me tell you
Hmm.
something. He wasn't
And
trying to worry.
and I was just looking at something Councilwoman Burns wrote in the chat. We need the residents to show up. And I
Absolutely.
understand. You don't want to
I
cough
don't
too
want to go to
loud
jail.
or
I
laugh
can't go to jail.
and get put out. But we need you guys to show up. We need to shut some of this shit down. We do.
Well, let me say this. See, this is why we got to give Hasselbring some support. If we can't support Hasselbring, then the residents, and because I'm gonna tell you now, I quit coming because I'm like Bernie Mac. If I come down there, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. I ain't scared. I'm gonna
Right.
say something. And just because you ain't scared, don't mean you should always say something. And then I end up in jail. Then I end up paying an attorney. Then I end up missing work. Then I end up with my name slandered all across M Live with these attorneys and this little line hit squad, mayors with no degrees and all this old crap. Anyway, long story short, it's a lot to take on, especially when the residents are so quick to turn their back on you, will
Mm-hmm.
sell you out for a Cracker Barrel dinner, will cut your throat, lie on you, and it ain't hard to get them to sell out. Any old Judas, any old body with $35 and make a donation to make a $500 donation to their cause. Around here, they'll sell out many generations for that little bit of money.
Oh yeah, they
So
will.
it's just really hard to get involved. But I gotta say, yes, we do. It is no overcoming this if we don't stick together. But if you don't have any resources to get yourself out of jail and you can't control yourself, you might need to be online cussing folks out and click liking and sharing all around the world and maybe making some cash donations for those who can't control themselves. It's gonna get put out anyway for holding up a sign or for clapping.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
Sherry Allen says the residents don't get no respect from Lydell and her cronies. I stopped wasting my time. See, I mean, you come down there, they violate your constitutional rights. First of all, you violate my 14th Amendment right because you're denying me uh, the right to free speech. You're allowing me to, and it's a certain way they worded it, but I have a right to openly speak against my government if I am not happy with them.
Yeah,
That is
you
in the
do.
Constitution. So then you violate them because they can't clap. I have a right to be at an open meeting in my community and you're throwing me out. Now that's the open meeting. Now you throwing me out, then you trying to lock me up. Then look at Paul, the videographer, little line Paul. Now Miss Dansler had to end up going to court. And now we also seen Paul roll up on Miss Elizabeth Taylor, 80-some-year-old
Hmm.
woman, and call her a bitch and push her. And ain't nobody said boo, who,
Boo,
or what
nothing.
he do. Okay? And it's on tape. They saw it, just like they saw that insurrection down there.
Yeah.
Like they see all these open meeting violations, just like they see that opera fund heist. Okay. So anyway, y'all, we could go on all night. I'm gonna look at this time and I'm gonna see what you. It's 8:27. That puts us in at about an hour and a half. Um, do we have any more comments that we want to take, Producer Jay, before we
Let me
wrap up? Or
see.
Miss Winfrey Carter, would you like to say anything before we get out of here?
Well, I would just like to thank you ladies for having me on your show. Um,
You are
I just
welcome,
want to
JWC.
reiterate that there's a lot going on in the Fifth Ward. Um, a lot of housing project projects, and there's going to be some more. We didn't show the one. I think producer Jay had put a picture up of one that's going to be starting in 2025 later on this year on ML King.
That one that she said
Is
was
that
going to
the
start
old
up.
Marion Hall?
Right. Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Speak
That's
on it.
going to
Speak
be,
on it, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter.
pardon me?
I said, go ahead and speak on it right quick. What you
Yeah,
got going?
that's a new project. I think Communities First is initiating that project, and it's gonna that's gonna be a really nice project. It's right there on the corner of ML King and
Is that
um
university or is that?
no, not
Mhm.
University. I want to say
That ain't the old ramp? Oh, across from the
It's the
older
old
that's
Rampier.
Marion Hall.
across.
Uh,
It's the
That's the
yeah,
old
Marion
on the
Marion
north
Hall.
Hall.
side.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what
Right.
that is? That is
Yeah.
university
Oh,
right
yeah, that's
there.
what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is
Okay.
university. Yeah.
All right.
So that's going to
And
be
so
another
now,
housing project. It's going to be really nice.
okay.
Um,
So are they gonna turn
yeah,
that into like
communities
lofts and
first.
stuff?
Pardon me.
They're gonna turn that into lofts?
It's going to be apartments. Um, I did, you know what? I got to remember, I did look at a plan. It's going to basically be an apartment building. They're going to redo that building, renovate that building, and kind of build
Okay.
on to that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
From this new stuff, that's what I'm saying about that new modern day stuff. Y'all know what I would like to see if they brought something like that here. I would consider maybe apartment style living, how they have those elevators that you have the key to that only goes to your apartment, the freight elevators. And that's usually the apartments, like she said, with the high ceilings where you can see the
Right.
piping and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
Chicago has those, and those things are expensive, but I really like those. But you kind of have to be a minimalist for that type of living. I require a lot of closet space and stuff, so
Right.
that's
Right.
that. But it looks interesting, and I'm really excited for because, like I always say, I know our stance. Uh, Bada. Thank you, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. Okay. Batty,
Thank you,
batty.
Bada. Thank you, Skeptical.
Yes.
I
So
saw something
I'm
she
always
said.
interested. Go ahead. So I'm
Yeah,
always interested in the new.
Skeptical JP. Thank you.
Yes, she is. She really is. But yes, it's always exciting to see the new development. And I know it often sounds like I'm against new development. I'm not against new development. I'm against new development in a community of people that have not had the opportunity to give their input. Not the group of people you want to hear from, but the group of people who really, really live in that community. Okay.
Right.
Um,
Right.
that who is often left out of the conversation. So when I'm speaking in that manner, those are the people that I am advocating for. I'm not against new stuff. I'm not against big stuff. I'm not against efficiency. I'm not against corporate America. I'm against corporate America that wants to come in in a capitalistic manner and drain the wealth out of a community and give nothing back. That is what I am against. I don't know how you think you should come into a community and soak up its wealth for you
Mhm.
and your family generational wealth, and you don't want to even see a person who's earned their way and paid their way, who is already there existing, their opportunity to sustain and maintain their wealth, whose community
Mhm.
wealth truly belongs to those people because they're the taxpayers that have been there putting into that system and have withstood the battles, the struggles, the test of time, the industry collapsing, and all this old stuff. And another thing I'm looking for, if we continue on this road with this president, I look for the housing industry to take a hit next. I think
Oh
that's the
yeah.
other than our food industry is
Yep.
facing to be crippled. I look for the housing industry to be crippled. So if you don't
Interest
own your
rates
own
gonna
home,
go up, all of it.
yep.
Yeah.
If you have less than great credit, if you don't own your own home and you would like to be a homeowner or a condo owner or whatever, I am telling you now, you can write this down, put it in the back of your Bible. It's almost as good as the gospel. Before these 4 years are over, if you save your money, you will be able to get you a deal because there is going to be some losses. Trust and believe. The
Mhm.
road we're going down, if we don't do a steep Detroit U-turn, we are headed for destruction.
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave it at that. So, anything else, Steph?
I see where the snowman wants me to speak on the water. Um, well, I think the state is finishing up the pipe removal process. I know that people are getting anxious about their payoffs, but like I said, they are sending the residents through a wild goose chase. And that's all I got to say about the water.
I see Bada Bada says, does Community First make huge donations in Flint? Communities First does a lot in the city. I know they make donations in a lot of different a lot of different organizations. I know they also sponsor the community movie series once a month, where they provide a movie and dinner, which although it's something to kind of keep the spirits up of the people in the community, and you meet a lot of different people down there and stuff like that, so it fosters a lot of interaction.
Yeah,
They also are these apartments and things that they're building in the area, they're providing affordable housing.
right. They have a couple
Mhm.
of projects going on right now in the Sixth Ward, Communities
Absolutely.
First. Right.
Yep, they're right
And
over there off
they,
of Flushing Road over there by the post office over there, right
right,
before you
right,
get to Ballinger.
right.
And then they have that
Oh,
one
they are
building that they
renovating
built
those.
over there on Ballinger.
The one on, oh, yeah, right there at Berkeley and Ballinger. Couple of places on Ballinger.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
also don't they own the Masonic building now? That's
They
downtown.
do. They do.
So
Yep.
Okay.
So I don't
so
know
they're
what they
making some
plan
moves.
to do with that building, but yeah, they own that now.
Okay. B.
They
Marie
own
So let's
this.
says
see,
They
there's
what
a
own
what
this
new
Tanya
lot.
EPA.
said.
They own this lot right here on the corner of Saginaw and Wood Street, um,
Oh,
the southwest corner.
Okay.
So I don't know
okay.
if they're planning to do a housing development there or what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Donnell
it's a lot of
Meredith,
stuff
I would
coming
love
in.
to have a
We on the move, huh?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys, it is 8:37.
We
Why
have,
I
don't the
know you
water
we
person
have a
on
new,
the council don't talk about the water? I don't know what you want us to say about the water. You're talking about the administration?
I think he's talking about the seventh ward council person.
Oh, okay. The seventh ward council person. And I think her organization, they do water testing, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, I think that's what they do. No, she never speaks about it, but
Except for when she was trying to get that money.
oh yeah, she was trying to get that money. Yeah,
And they took a trip, a so-called water trip on the city dime.
right, right,
So you mean they never got no information for the people, but you took a
right. And
water trip for your
they voted
job?
it down when we wanted to have the administration come up and talk about, okay, yeah, you're talking about the council person in the 7th ward. She has a water lab, and I think
Right.
they um, test water samples. It would be interesting to
Okay.
find out what the water samples are coming, the um, the results of the water samples.
And Jessica Stewart says she's too busy talking reckless to grown folks like JWC.
Right, right.
Jessica, you are absolutely right. Absolutely. She is
And that's
reckless.
sad because that's what the body of work has became about. Down talking and destroying other people and dancing around the real issues and topics. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's gotten to the point where I think some of our council people know no other way. They've never done anything else. So they don't know how to move the needle forward in a positive manner to yield some positive results for the community and taxpayers. I mean, that's what it's all about. And until you can get those positive results out the administration and the council collectively to make it equal results for the community, then you have to have somebody that'll speak and stand up for your best interest. And
Mm,
sometimes it does mean a stalemate because sometimes if it's not a stalemate, that means you're giving everything away. And just because you're not arguing at the table doesn't make you a good leader.
right.
Sometimes there's nothing left to do but argue or be taken advantage of. And I think that is where we found ourselves as residents here in the city of Flint.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Donnell
Donnell
Meredith
Meredith says,
says Neely should be having press conferences giving updates on Water Weekly, especially if you got the governor lying on national TV. Sweetie, Donnell, he's not going to give a news conference on anything about the water. They don't want to discuss the water. They don't want to talk about the
They
water.
told him
As
to
far
make
as
the
they could
water crisis go away.
go away, and that's what he's going to do.
Yep.
And that's what he's done. Nobody talks about it. We don't
so
get
they
any
ain't said
updates.
nothing else
You guys are
about that.
saying that
I thought
the council. I always hear that. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just say this because I always hear people coming for the council saying, "Well, the council did do this, and the council don't talk about it." The 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 council people in the first, second, third, and fourth and seventh ward. Well, third is not available, so excuse me. Let me take that one. Fourth and the seventh ward are not going to talk about it. That's not they have not been given marching orders to talk about it. They haven't
Right.
been given any talking
And
points, and they don't. And
every
go
time
ahead.
we try to have a discussion, bring the administration up to talk about the water, um, they voted down. So
Or you get Clyde the Glide coming up there, and Clyde
and
will say, "I'm gonna get back
and
with you,"
and
and he don't never get back with
and
you.
let's be
So,
clear. And let's be clear, and we haven't tracked this down, but there's been rumors that Candace Machette does not live in the city in her ward for real. There's been rumors the first ward council person doesn't live in his ward. There's been rumors that Miss the second ward council person still holds residency in Maryland. I don't know about Miss Judy, but at the end of the day, of most of them, and then they're even saying that our very own head administrator does not really live in the city. I don't know how true that is, but that would explain why they're not interested in fixing the water. Why would you want to live somewhere and feed yourself cancer and your children and your family and your loved ones. So, um, and then you're voting, but I blame the residents. They keep
Mhm.
supporting people that won't even
Skeptical
vote for them clean water,
Skeptical
running
Jay
around
says,
talking about who they
"Where is the
friends with.
Skeptical Jay said, where's the great work that the second ward that's where is the great work in the second ward? I saw bullcrap Cyrus Park. Well, sweetie, we've been trying to figure that out too, because I've rode past Cyrus Park and there's not a whole lot getting done around there.
I mean, ain't nothing getting done around there. But
Mm.
every time you look up, she trying to get some money, some more money. She trying to get her hands on a few dollars. And we have to accept the fact that we are a rest haven for anybody that wants to pimp us out, use us up, and make a fool out of us because we hate one another. We hate ourselves. We don't want to see each other get ahead. So we rather let some outsiders come in and rob us of our wealth and go back to their communities with the bag. And we all
Mhm.
just sit around here and blame one another instead of being proactive and getting our communities together and being responsible for our survival. So this is what it is.
All right, ladies. Well, we're
This is
working on 8:45 right now. I gotta get up and go
all
to work in the
righty.
morning. You gotta go to work, and I know
Yes, ma'am.
JWC gotta get up and go to court, go to work, and she got to go to court
And gotta
in
go
the
to court.
afternoon. So
Okay
we're
then.
gonna wrap this thing up. First of all, thank you very much, Jerry, for coming and gracing us with your presence. We appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do. Um, we know this council is not an easy thing to do, and we know that it's one of those thankless jobs. But we want to let you know that we appreciate you. Keep up the good work. If you need if you need to be prayed up, stayed up, or whatever you need, you know all you gotta do is pick up the phone and call. And if you need to look, I'm your girl. If you need prayer,
If
I'm
I
your
need
girl.
you to put on your black hoodie
Yep, you
and
need me to
come,
put my black hoodie on? Come on, we got you too. You need me to meet you at the roadhouse so you can vent? I'm there. I'm your girl, okay?
That's right. You know we pulling up. You know we gotta pull up on mopeds. We showing up.
Yeah, we got to pull up
have your
on the
black
scooters.
hoodie
We
on.
pulling up. Yep,
Have
we
your
pulling
black
up.
hoodie on now. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
All righty
Thank
then.
you for having me. I appreciate you ladies. You guys are doing an awesome job with your
Thank you.
community conversation. And I think this is needed. We need to have more conversations. Just candid, real conversations.
Absolutely.
And thank you.
Positive.
And if you guys
Positive.
ever need me to come back, you know where to find me. You
We're
got
going
my
we'll
number.
call you.
Oh, you know
We'll
we'll
leave the
be
light on
calling
for
you.
you.
Yeah.
you we're gonna really have a party one day. We're gonna get you and Councilwoman Burns on here at the same time and see what we can do.
Oh wow.
I don't know what's
I'll
going
let
on with our
Burns do all the
audio.
talking. Look, I'll let Burns do all the talking. You know she can talk.
Girl, the horns off of Billy Goat.
I think she talks more than the late Councilman Mays. What y'all think?
um,
Carol, what you think?
What?
I think
Carol,
uh,
My,
I think Councilwoman Burns talk more than the late Councilman Mays.
oh, girl, yeah, because she could talk faster than him. Because, his
Uh,
voice was deep and heavy. Because I don't, he got to pause. He
right.
talking slow. Yeah, like a typewriter. And she going to try to talk
she's
Uh-huh.
about,
gone.
Uh-huh.
trying to tell me how much I talk. So, girl, you did a
Sometimes I'll look
5-hour
at her.
podcast.
Look, sometimes I'll look at her like, girl, if you don't stop talking. Oh yeah.
Oh, look, she gonna get you,
I know. I
JWC.
know
She
she
said
gonna
she need
get
a
me.
late night. She said she need a late night chit chat with you, JWC, after going to the MSP.
Oh wow. Girl, I'll be calling you.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us this internet for me. But thank you so much for joining us, Miss Councilwoman. Amazing, the amazing Miss Jerry Winfrey Carter. We appreciate you. And my
Thank
co
you.
host, my very favorite Steph, and myself. I am also your host, Carol. This has been a community conversation. Please stay tuned. Join us next week on Clutching My Pearls with our lovely former Mayor Karen Weaver and our lovely Miss Elizabeth Taylor, um, our
Oh, and next
jewel of the group.
Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, we're gonna have Pastor Kevin Thompson on here from St. Mark Baptist Church. So we're gonna talk to the man that from St. Mark that was denied the funds. We're gonna talk about all of the good things that he has going on at the church and try to highlight him a little bit and see if maybe we can shake some trees or something and get him some funding because we ain't gonna look, 4 monkeys ain't gonna stop no show. Oh,
Yeah,
let me wait a minute. Let
and
me
he's
not say that.
amazing.
I forgot. People get in trouble for calling people monkeys.
Well, you said,
Don't start no
let me
trouble
stop.
now. We
Let me
trying to
stop
stay
no
you don't
live.
want
We
to
trouble.
don't
use,
want
you
no
don't want to
smoke.
use monkey. You don't want to use
We
monkey.
don't want no
for
smoke.
for
Yeah.
for
Councilman
for
May
fools
said,
won't stop no.
you mean the elephant in the room?
Yeah, 4 elephants in the room don't start no show. How about that?
You might not want to call the elephant, say elephant either.
uh, well, whatever,
Oh
whatever.
God.
Them people. But
This is getting
anyway,
ridiculous. You don't need no smoke. So yeah, so join us next Wednesday at seven o'clock when we have our pastor Thompson from St. Mark's Church. Also catch us on Clutching My Pearls Thursday with Karen Weaver and Elizabeth Taylor. Also catch me Friday on 1420 Gospel AM at 5 o'clock. This has been a community conversation. We appreciate you for joining us. We also always honor our viewers and our listeners and those that get involved. We appreciate the support. Don't forget to click like and share. We were supposed to tell you at the beginning, but
yeah,
it's not too late. And don't forget to support Hasselbring. They need you. We need you. We need each other. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. Until then, we love you and
peace
Peace.
peace.
out.
Peace.